don't see where I went wrong. It's one letter away from Jedi.
Judo is not one letter away from Jedi.
I'd argue with you, but that guy kicks my brain, now it's resting.
Okay, that guy was 13, and how many of those classes did you sign up for?
I didn't sign up, I just showed up in my Jedi costume.
It's not a costume, it's a gi.
Then why were they all dressed like Obi-Wan, minus the cape, which was brown, awful color. Pass the peas.
Right there.
Anyway, didn't do it for exercise. I did it because, I think I'd make a pretty good Jedi.
Oh, probably the concussion talking, but at least you're aiming high. Jedi are the best heroes.
No, Jedi are idiots. I am aiming correctly for my station in life.
Oh, no.
Jedi suck.
No. We are not doing this tonight.
Yeah. And if those yutzes can learn Force powers, I'm probably like 3 pajama fights away from being a Jedi who are
No! Okay, the Star Wars movies are racist. They are sexist. They are robot slaveryist. But I have got to keep liking Princess Leia. And, the guy Jedi's, I guess.
You ever notice how the Jedi can't seem to stick to one job?
Eastern? He's more machine than Dan now.
It's kind of the same thing.
They're spread super thin. They're knights, they're monks, they're diplomats, they're teachers, they're detectives, they're secret agents.
pod race betters, fish monster wranglers, whatever the hell Ben ended up being for all those years after the prequels. Coot? Codger?
The Jedi did pick a job. It's saving the galaxy.
With which skill set? Obi and Qui are jacks of all trades, but Jedi masters of none. I mean, look at the way they do detective stuff. Their investigative strategy usually revolves around let's just try and get captured. They don't know how to travel incognito or not blow their own cover. And if they do manage to apprehend a suspect, they disarm them literally.
Well, they probably don't learn all that cop stuff in Jedi school. I mean, they start training the Jedi when they're baby age, ideally. I mean, that's a lot of stuff for a magic baby to take in.
Why are we even training them as toddlers? It clearly doesn't work. Anakin and Luke are objectively the 2 most powerful Jedi of all time, and they both started when they were technically too old to train. Luke, hell, he was a teenager when he started, but after a few Yoda meals and X-Wing deadlifts, he was able to take down 2 Sith Lords himself, and Anakin killed a shitload of more trained Jedi.
Come on, the prequel Jedi just got sucker punched by a phantom and by a hidden evil. That doesn't mean that the Jedi aren't hero geniuses doing everything that they can.
They're doing every random thing they can. Think about Qui-Gon Jinn.
I try, but I only ever see Brian Mills.
In episode 1, Qui-Gon was sent to settle a trade dispute. That was his mission. But instead, he ends up sneaking a fish monster into a palace, cheating on some pod races, stealing a kid because he's got high Thetan levels, and then leaving that kid's mom to die a slave. The Jedi Council's like, hey, would you go check on this trade negotiation, make sure everything's going smoothly? And he comes back like, surprise, I brought a kid you all hate. He's mine now, I'm gonna keep him. Also, as far as that trade stuff goes, the only one.
Because bad movies have dumb stuff in them, hence bad movies. But in the good Star Wars...
No, yeah, in A New Hope, Obi-Wan leads Luke straight into a trash compactor after years of not teaching the kid anything. And Luke spends most of his time getting swallowed by random monsters.
And in the prequels and pre-sequels, Jedi constantly let their enemies escape from and sometimes even win fights.
Because they don't use guns.
Because they became Jedi to play with swords.
Well, they found a nerd rhythm.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
My lightsaber hilt would have one of those wrist things on it, so it wouldn't fall off from your wrist.
Like what some GoPros have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That way I wouldn't, even if I would be like, no,
Surprise, yeah. Right here.
Lanyard.
The lightsaber does not maketh the man, it is the sensitivity to the Force. I mean, the Force makes the Jedi telekinetic, mind readers, and really friendly ghosts.
Friendly, lazy ghosts. The Force ghosts show up like twice a movie, and they're clearly not interested in being helpful.
So what I told you was true, from a certain point of view.
A certain point of view? The f***ing galaxy's on the line, Riddler.
And Force ghosts are clearly up to dick all. Otherwise, why would 3 of them RSVP yes to an Ewok party?
Well, it's a ghost job. There probably aren't enough Jedi for eternity shifts.
But there would be if the Jedi would just nut up and do nut stuff.
It's a family movie. The sex happens off screen and on the internet.
No, it doesn't. Not for Jedi.
Why? What happened to the internet?
One step back for Soren. The Jedi Code proper says Jedi aren't allowed to have sex.
But the Jedi are powerful. Now, I refuse to live in a world where powerful people are discouraged from having sex with each other.
Well, good thing we don't live in that world then.
Damn
In
right.
this case, and only this case.
Because of some vague rules, the Jedi are all busy putting training into each other when they should be putting Padawans into each other. Midichlorians don't have to actually matter, because in the original trilogy, already showed that force powers are congenital. There's a whole galaxy of beings out there. Yeah, so why aren't there like a ton of Jedi? And how come every alien race can only produce like one master tops?
Action figures, special edition. No aquarium can hold a candle to Yariel.
It has to mean that the actual odds of producing a Jedi baby are very tiny. Yet, the one time a Jedi does get down and dirty and rough as sand, he goofs out a kid who's
The Jedi, like my father before me.
and his twin sister, the forciest girl in the Star Wars universe.
My sister has it.
Anakin's balls go 2 for 2. So just imagine how many younglings a Council of Force boning could pump out if they would just take one for the galaxy and take one.
Okay, if the Jedi really suck, how about we imagine what it would be like without them, huh? Imagine a Lucas universe where they had to build an entire society without using force powers, and I think that you realize...
We don't even have to imagine it.
Okay, but like, could you maybe just like try, because like imagination is fun?
The Empire is a society with no Jedi backbone, except for 2 busted up old Sith, and it works.
Don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader.
That's why the British Nazis think the Jedi are a joke, and they make a good point. Darth Vader's ancient religion doesn't help them find the Death Star plans or the rebels, even though he's got ample terror time with Princess Leia.
Whom he never realizes has force powers or is his only daughter. I mean, what other secrets were in her brain to learn? Average stormtrooper heights?
A little short for a stormtrooper.
Plus, the Sith let both Death Stars blow up. The first time because Vader fails to shoot people from behind, and the second time when their shields are down and they're losing the Star War, but those nerf herders,
Scruffy nerf herders.
Scruffy nerf herders are off mind gaming Luke and wasting time.
Plus, in the prequels, there's slavery on Tatooine with Anakin and his mother, at least. And then, at some point between the end of the prequels and the start of the original trilogy, it looks like the Empire has abolished slavery on Tatooine. Empire makes shit work.
And it seems like the Empire's only real mandates are no slavery and no more Jedi, because they can't not f everything up. And look how many jobs were created under the Empire's reign.
And let's not forget that the Empire is so great and functional that Luke initially wants to work for them.
I want to transmit my application to the Academy this year.
The only downfall of the entire Empire is the hubris of the 2 Sith that work for it. And Sith are basically just rebellious Jedi.
The Sith and the Jedi are idiots. They're just 2 sides of the same force-balancing, dumbass coin.
Well, that does fulfill the prophecy in the most technical, riddles are garbage way possible.
And stories are the riddles that bring us together.
Oh, I thought that was sweet, kind of poetic.
Now, riddles? They lead to thought puzzles.
I mean, maybe.
And thought puzzles lead to math. And math to the dark side leads.
Hospital?
Hospital.
Hospital.
Beetlejuice!
Oh, never mind. He's fine.
Yeah, that's new topic.
standard,
You want a new
yeah.
topic?
Candyman!
The bees?
Shazam!
Well, let's slow down. Slow
to
your
me,
roll.
my board!
Should take me to
You're
the
right.
hospital.
Yeah, let's go. Hey, we're Dan and Soren from Crack. Thanks for watching After Hours.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy this episode about Star Trek. It's one of my favorite shows. If you've got more information about Star Trek that you want to share with us, go ahead and put it in the comments. But make sure that you make it about Star Trek. How's that chili?
Really bad.